Okay, let's get started. I have a very exciting video for you on a very exciting subject, and what that is you. Now, obviously, if you're watching this, you're a person looking to gain information on how to improve, to enhance some aspect of your life, whether it's your health, your relationships, to make more money, improve your business, or whatever it is you're looking to do. And you've probably, gained information like this in the past, whether it's been from videos like this, or, audios or a cassette tape that you had years ago that's buried somewhere in a drawer in your house, or maybe it's a seminar that you attended. And you and I both know that there's some great information out there, and some of it made a lot of sense to you, and some of it you might have even applied. But the question is, why hasn't it made the big change that you're looking for in whatever area of your life that you're working on? What this video is about is not about you acquiring more information, more knowledge on the subject of personal development. It's about getting you to do all of those things that you know to do that you just don't do. So here's what you're going to learn. Two very simple things that are going to make a dramatic impact on getting you to take more action and get more accomplished in almost any area of your life. The first thing I'm going to share with you is really what stops you and most people from taking the actions that you really desire to take, that you know to take, that are a good idea to take, you just don't do. On top of that, I'm going to share with you one very simple word that once you start dedicating your time, your energy, and your money to this one simple thing, it's going to make a dramatic impact in your life. And the second thing I'm going to cover with you is why goal setting, that's been taught for years by so many personal trainers and personal development gurus and books and seminars and churches and temples have been taught for years, and why goal setting doesn't work for about 97% of the world. So I'm going to teach you not just how to set goals, I'm going to show you how to actually get them once and for all. Yet before I cover that with you, let me share with you what stops you and the majority of the people in the world from taking the actions and accomplishing the things that we know we should and could do. Now, how I got the answer to this is after the last decade of traveling all over the world, talking to hundreds of thousands of people, I learned a couple things. And what that was is I asked three very simple questions to all sorts of audiences, all walks of life, and what's interesting was I got the same answer from every single room. So how about I ask you those same very simple three questions? They all start off with, do you know? Think of that. Do you know how to be in better shape than you're currently in, how to make more money, and how to have better relationships, or if you don't have one, how to actually find one? Well, the interesting thing about it is most people that I asked this to, if not everybody, said they know how to be in better shape. They say what? You eat less and you move your body more. When it comes down to making more money, the salespeople always say, pick up the phone, call more prospects, follow up with more people. The folks with a job say, go for getting a raise, ask your boss, pick up a new skill, get a degree, whatever it is. And when it comes down to relationships, the two answers I typically get are learn to listen more and communicate more, and you'll have more effective and better relationships. Well, the interesting thing is, all the audiences I talk to, if we were to collaborate all of the material, including yours, we could probably write a book on how to do these three things. But then I asked one other question. I said, look, I know that you know these things. How many of you do these things consistently? And that's where the room typically goes silent, because you know what you need to do, but you just don't do what it is that you know. Now, you would think that logically it makes total sense that you should want to be in better shape, make more money, and have better relationships. Yet logic really isn't the answer to getting yourself to get things done. Before I give you the answer, let's take a little trip back to school. You remember being in school when you were a kid? Remember the classes that you took? The majority of the classes you took were logical classes. For instance, History 101. I'll make up some names. Math 405, Algebra, Geometry, Psychology. And the majority of the classes you took, if not all of them, were logical-based classes. Yet the way to get yourself to take the actions you need to take in your life have nothing to do with logic. They have everything to do with emotion. See, emotion is what stops you from picking up the phone. It's emotions that stop you from talking to that beautiful significant other that you could have in your life that's across the street from you. It's emotions that stop you from, doing the things you need to do, from getting yourself to go to the gym, from saying, I got too much to do today and blah, 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 or, the gym intimidates me. We all get stopped emotionally, and we look to solve our challenges logically. Now, I believe there are two main emotions that stop all human beings from getting what they want accomplished. What these two emotions are ones you hear about in the media, you hear in society, almost everywhere around you. And they're two things that plague pretty much all of us. What they are is this. Well, let me ask you, have you ever felt in the last days, weeks, months, or years, ever felt the feeling of depression? And I don't mean you're clinically depressed, you're having the worst day of your life, but you're not feeling that great. Or have you ever felt anxious before? where you think, man, I just started this business last week. Why haven't I gotten a check yet? Or, why am I not mastering this one thing that I just started a couple of weeks ago? I already said that it's not logic that's going to solve your challenges and get you to be more successful. It's emotions. Learning how to work with your emotions is everything. So let me ask you, has there ever been a day in your life that you said to yourself, I'm having a bad day? You ever had one of those bad days where things weren't working out for you no matter what you did? It was mind over mattress and mattress won and you stayed in bed? Or maybe, you just felt a little anxious about something not happening for you? Typically when we have these days that aren't working out for ourselves, we say things like this to ourselves. Why is this happening to, you can answer the question, me? We all know, why is this happening to me? And this is the first reason why you don't get what you want in this world. Now, this is a lot of common sense, yet it's very important to get ourselves to realize that common sense isn't necessarily common practice. The first reason why you don't get what you want in this world is this. You're focused on your challenges or your problems. Now, let me add one other piece to that. It's not just about you focused on your problems. Sometimes you don't focus on your own problems. You're one of those people that focuses on everybody else's. You ever met someone before that, they know everything wrong with everyone else. They never work on one thing in your own life, but you work on everyone else's? I believe the most selfish people in the world are the ones that give everything to everyone else and nothing to themselves. So the number one reason why you don't have what you want in this world is you're focused on yours or other people's problems. The second you start focusing on solutions, that's going to make the difference in your life. The second reason why you get these emotions that you shouldn't have and you don't accomplish what it is that you desire is this. And the best way to describe it is being in a car. If you remember being in a car, driving a car, pre-cell phone days, and you got a pad of paper to your right or the side of an envelope, and you got directions on how to get to where you're going, and you look over to the right, and it says turn left, turn right, and you wind up realizing you're a little lost because what you're doing driving isn't matching up with the notes. And the first thing you do is you lower the radio so you don't hear it as loud. All human beings do it, don't know why. And then what happens, you look at the notes, you pick them up, you start driving slower, and that's typically when the panic starts to set in. It starts off slowly with, I'm a little bit lost, I'm a little confused, and after about 15 minutes, you're drawing pictures in your head of what's going to go wrong, and you're not focused on getting out of where you're at, you're focused on the problem, but on top of that, you're not getting anywhere. All of us have been places in our lives where we felt like we were not getting anywhere. Haven't you had those relationships before where you said to yourself, I feel like I'm not getting anywhere, or this relationship is going where? Nowhere. And eventually, nowhere does go somewhere. It goes gone. Bye-bye, not anymore. Or a business. You said, I feel like I'm not getting anywhere with this. And eventually, it dissipates. Well, the number one reason why you're not getting what you want, as I already said, you're focused on your problems or somebody else's. The second reason is this. When you're headed somewhere, you're not making the magical word happen. Haven't you had a day where you felt great because you felt like you were getting somewhere? Or maybe, you were selling better than you did the week before. Or maybe your relationship was even better than it was that month or year before. Or maybe your boss just gave you a raise or something happened in your life where you felt like you were making the magic word happen. What that magic word is that allows you to get anything you want is this. It's progress. Think about that word for a second. How good do you feel when you're making progress? Think about the word progress. How good do you feel like when you're getting somewhere? Well, the answer is you probably feel great. Yet most of us focus on what's wrong and we don't focus on getting anywhere. And my recommendation for you is to start doing the opposite. Figure out what it is that you want and let's start making progress on a regular basis. So you may be asking yourself, Mike, progress sounds good. I like it, Mike. I want to make progress. I know it feels good. I want to get somewhere in my life. But what do I have to progress on? Well, I already said earlier, it's not logic. Logically, it makes total sense why you should want to live longer, be in better shape, have better relationships. Logically, all of that is what we want. Yet emotionally is the thing we typically don't work on. So how do you actually get farther in this world? Well, there's a million self-development books, courses, seminars, tapes out there that focus on something called goal setting. They don't focus on goal getting, they focus on goal setting. And most of the books talk about making your dream board. They talk about, going out there and writing what it is that you want. It doesn't matter if you're reading Think and Grow Rich or whatever book it is. They're great material. Yet the reason why it doesn't work for you is going to astonish you. So here it is. The reason why 97% of the people on this earth, including you and me the majority of the time, have not gotten our goals doesn't come down to goal setting. It doesn't come down to how you write it out or what you do. It comes down to the way that you don't do goal setting. It's the way you do goal getting. Goal getting is about learning how to motivate yourself to get yourself to take the action. So let's backtrack for just a second. And if I were to say, let's line up 100 people from all walks of life, colors, creeds, religions, you name it, from all parts of the world, and line them up in an area of your town. And we were to do a seminar called How to Get Your Goals. And I lined them up and I said, look folks, there's 100 of you. You represent the whole world. Let's go get our goals together. I teach them how to do it. We set our goals. We figure out what to do, how to do it, all the stuff we covered earlier. And I come back 6 months later and I look to the whole group who knows how to do it and wants to do it. And I said, how many of you got your goals? And the most amazing thing would happen. 3 hands would go up. I think to myself, 3 hands? Why 3 hands? What about the other 97 people? The 97% of the people on this earth, do they not care? Do they not want it? Does it not matter to them? Well, that couldn't be farther from the truth. Absolutely that you want your goals. Absolutely they want their goals. So I realized I must have left something out. So what I do is I grab the 3 people, the 3 that got their goals, because if you want to achieve something, you should ask someone who's done it before. So I take those 3 people and I line them up and say, okay, what did you do? What did you do? What did you do? What did you do? And they all tell me what they did. And I teach all of those secrets to the other 97 people for a month straight. I tell each of them, I'll be back in 5 months. Show me how many of you got your goals. So now not only do they know how to do it, they want to do it, they have a plan that somebody else did that worked for them. And here's the interesting thing. After 6 months, I sit down and I say, look, how many of you got your goals? And the most amazing thing is no other hands go up. It's still only the 3 people. So I scratch my head for a second and say, okay, maybe it's they don't have enough books and tapes. So we make books on goal setting, we make audios on goal setting, and we show them exactly what to do and how to do it. And I come back 6 months later, and they still didn't achieve their goals. It wasn't because they weren't smart. They were just as smart as the other 3 people. It's just they were doing what doesn't work for them. Now, if you're an able-bodied person and you're able to walk on a regular basis, if I asked you to walk or run, you probably could show me how. But let's say for a second that I switched your shoes. Took your right shoe, put it on the left foot, and your left shoe, put it on the right foot, back and forth, and I switched them around. How well would you run right away if you were doing it backwards? If you're a righty and I ask you to bowl lefty, how well are you going to do? Or golf, whatever it is, you do it the opposite hand, you're probably not going to be as good at it. The reason why is you're doing what doesn't work for you. See, here's the interesting thing. There's only 2 motivators of man. The first is what's called inspiration. Knowing enough that you can and caring enough that you want to. We solved that in the first part of the video. You know what it takes to be in better shape. You care about your health. You know what it takes to make more money. You care about making more money. Of course you do. You know about relationships. Of course you want to make them better. But it's still not working for you. The second thing is you care enough that you want to. So you're thinking, I know enough that I can, or I care enough that I want to, but that only works for 3% of the world. 3% of the world is motivated by knowing enough that they can and or caring enough that they want to. The majority of us, including myself, are not motivated by inspiring ourselves. We're motivated by something called desperation. Now think of that word for a second, desperation. That means getting to the critical time where you have to, or it hurts enough that it has to, that you have to take action. Let's take an example of a taxpayer in the United States. When do most people pay their taxes? I mean, think about this. I'm not calling anybody out. I'm not directly associated with the IRS or anything, but when do most people pay their taxes? Not January 1st. About 3% of the people pay January 1st or January 15th. The majority of the world is waiting in traffic or in line at the post office, what? Around April 13th, 14th, or 15th, and the reason why is they wait for the last minute. And the only reason they pay it, and the reason they're motivated to get it done, is very simple. That it's not because they feel like being a good citizen, it's because you say, if I don't pay it, I'm going to get a penalty. If I don't pay it, I'm going to get in trouble. It's the motivation of not doing it that actually moves you to get it done. So what does this have to do with goal setting? Well, most of us set goals and we spend the majority of our time learning how to figure out what it is that we want. That should take about 5 minutes. I take about 5 minutes teaching people how to get their goals. The majority of what I do is teach people how to motivate themselves, to get them to take action, to get you to make progress and make things happen in your life. So let me ask you, do you want goals, to have goals, or do you once and for all want to achieve these goals you've had in your life? Well, if your answer is, I desire to achieve goals, well, it's going to take going about things differently. Now, a lot of what I shared with you, as I said earlier, is a lot of common sense. And as I said earlier, common sense is not necessarily common practice. The key to all of this is starting to focus on what it is that you want and working towards it on a regular basis. The way to work towards it is to start making progress. And one of the areas to start making progress on is very simple. Start learning how you're motivated. Start learning, are you motivated by just deciding and doing? Or does it take kind of things being a little painful to drive you? And if you're driven by pain, don't be one of those people that kind of gets mad at yourself and beats yourself up, that desperation moves you. Start to work with the way the world is. Start to work with the way your body is set up. Start to work with the way your mind is set up so you could start taking control of that and start living the life that you truly desire. So here's the secret and the answer. You got to go out there and start taking some action. Start making some progress. Start realizing the more progress you make, the more confidence you're going to have. Because all that depression, anxiety, and emotions you don't desire, they all come about when you're not moving forward. It's impossible when you're moving forward and feeling good to feel bad at the same time. So let's go out there and develop the confidence. Because the confidence is going to be the only way to get you from where you are to where it is you desire to go, no matter what part of your life that you're working on. The confidence is going to give you the strength to hold yourself accountable or let someone else hold you accountable in the process. I wish I had thousands of hours to cover with you all of the ideas, the strategies, the tips, the tools that I've shared with clients on how to quadruple their income, or find the relationship of their dreams, or save their marriage, make the relationship work better with their children, or show them how to lose that 30, 40, 50 extra pounds, or collectively work with a group of people to lose thousands of pounds. Well, the coolest part about this is once you have the confidence, you can allow yourself to let somebody help you. The interesting thing is I've realized about people is most people don't have the confidence to let somebody else assist them. If you're looking to allow yourself to grow, if you're looking to make more progress, let me assist you in taking more action. I'm certain I can show you how to get anything you want. Whether you do it yourself or we do it together, the key is that we make progress in life. I look forward to hearing about your progress. Take care and have a phenomenal day. And remember, go out there and take some action. Right about now, your mind is probably buzzing with all the exciting possibilities for your future. Now, I don't blame you, because as you really get it about how quickly you can affect positive change in your life, it's absolutely electrifying. I'm excited too, because the fact that you're still watching this video tells me something very important about you. You are ready to take action. And as I promised earlier, I'm here to support you every step of the way. So let's keep going, shall we? Let me explain. I'm going to be hosting a free live coaching call so we can go even deeper into these powerful strategies. There are no strings attached. It's a gift I want to offer to you. All you have to do is show up and be receptive to soaking up everything I have to offer you. And there will be some key points I want to make sure you understand. So here's how it works. The call will be held on a conference line, and I will attempt to accommodate as many people as possible, but I only have a limited number of lines available. I will email you an invitation to the coaching call, and it's going to be necessary for you to confirm your attendance by registering for the call quickly. Look, it's that simple. You're going to feel energized after our call because you will gain even a greater clarity about how effectively you can turn things around in your life. Whether it's more vibrant health, more money, or more effective relationships you're looking for, you'll experience meaningful new levels of satisfaction and open communication. Now imagine how quickly you can regain control of your life. Instead of being run by chaos, frustration, and confusion, you will experience greater clarity, peace, and strength in all areas of your life. This truly can be a breakthrough coaching call for you, and I'd suggest you do everything you can to be there. So before we go today, I'm going to give you 2 simple action steps because I don't want you to miss out on any part of your personal growth potential. And I want you to experience how small, incremental steps can equal big results. And you'll see how these show up as progress in your life. Now, here's the first action step. I want you to be watching for an email message from me in your inbox because I'll send you a personal invitation for a free coaching call in the next day or so. In that email, I will let you know the date and time for our next conversation. When your invitation arrives, take a moment to register for the call and reserve your place. That's all there is to it. I'll even make sure to send you an email reminder before our call. Now, here's the second action step. It sounds simple, and it is, but it's also extremely powerful, so don't skip this one. After you finish the video, I want you to take a moment to fully appreciate what you've done today. Literally close your eyes for a moment, take a deep breath, and allow yourself to smile. Because today, you have already begun the process of allowing yourself to grow by creating momentum. Progress for you began just by making one simple decision to watch this coaching video. So congratulations, you are already in a small percentage of people who will take action. Now progress is the next step. Your confidence and strength of purpose will continue to increase and grow over time if you will simply take the next step and join me on our free live coaching call. All you have to do is watch for your personal invitation in your inbox. Confirm your attendance by registering now. After that, all you have to do is show up. You know what we call that? We call that making progress. Until next time, take care, and I'll speak with you soon, real soon. Catch you on the call.